and I wanted to write a self-contained adventure. Oh, what have I done? Oh! Alright, here we go again. This is actually the second time I'm recording this because the first time I didn't hit the record button. Shall we? Questions about Lumeon Lands, my pilot. There's a lot of stuff to talk about actually, and let's get right into it. So the first thing I realized that not a lot of people know was that everything you saw drawn on screen was drawn by me as a solo animator. Get back to you, Freddy. This ain't Secret of the Mimic. The only thing I had help with was casting the voice actors and obviously voice acting and the soundtrack. And I'm really lucky with the cast and crew I ended up with, even though most animation was done by one person, obviously. Go back to your sleep, Freddy Bear. And it was a lot of work, especially because I'm working a 40-hour work week on top of the animations and do a bunch of commissions, which I'm really glad for the opportunities, but it takes a lot of time and a lot of work to get through everything. And that's why also, I've explained this in another video, but the animation is very rudimentary and I focus more on environments because I'm not that fast at quickly drawing complicated movements and anatomically correct on model characters. It's also why I don't know how or when or why I should make a season 1, because the idea for this pilot was a self-contained adventure. Go back to your stage, Frederick! I am commanding you to go back to your stage. To be a self-contained adventure that doesn't really require a large follow-up plot to explain everything, even though it needed a lot of media literacy to understand, because there's so much going on in the background with yay! There was so much going on in the background with Vanessa Weemoff looking for Barry and Susan who stole the pool keys off screen, and the little monster that was apparently in this tower all along. A lot of the things don't get explained very coherently, but that's the point. I didn't want to shove the plot down people's throat. For example, the car chase sequence, Vanessa Weemoff appears and explains her appearance with a sentence,
"I knew I'd find you here, causing havoc."
You might have understood that she just recognized that there was a lot going on the street, and hey, maybe it's Barry and Susan. I have to take a look at those little creatures who stole my pool key. First time of my recording, I didn't know you had to actually grill or put those pizzas in the oven, but now I know. One jump scare less. How I wound up with the cast and crew, I have basically for all the voice actors, I basically put out a casting call, went through the auditions, and looked for the people who would fit the bill best. But I have to say, Lars helped me with some decisions. Well, there you go. Lars helped me with some decisions, and I know people are, I wouldn't say upset, but it's come to people's attention that, for example, Michael Kovac is in this pilot.
Hey, party people!
Which for indie animation is to be expected, but the funny thing is that Lars didn't even know that this was what he sounded like, actually, because he just knew him from Hasman Hotel, the pilot. He was pretty shocked when he found when he found out who he just casted. So that's how we wounded up. With him screaming, hit the corner a couple times. Ding ding! Okay. I see that this minigame is not very suited for playing and talking. We tried one more time. Just one more time. It can't hurt.
Okay. Where was I?
Some people mentioned the characters reminding them of My Himatri Sword. I've never seen a single frame from what the show is about. Just basically wanted to have a non-romantic sibling sort of relationship as the main characters, for to have two people bounce off of each other, and I think we don't get this up in media, just like lop your bunnies, a piece meat, and his feather sauce meat. And the backgrounds was also a pretty why are you looking at me like that? Huh? A lot of people talked about the backgrounds, which is like my specialty in animation, because I really wanted to learn how to draw backgrounds like the ones in Steven Universe, and drew a whole lot of them. So therefore I had a lot of practice and made the pilot more about like the environments than about complicated animations and character movements. Better be safe than sorry. So the animation was more on the rudimentary side, but like the problem with working full-time in architecture and doing animation on the side is that any live event will inevitably slow down the process push of your work. So I really had to take that into account and just settle for just more of an anime sort of animation style where things are kept on freeze and things are admittedly a little more stiff. As for the scene that inspired me the most, or that was the most meaningful to me, is like, and it was pretty dumb or pretty simplistic, but like the scene where they are in the sea tower and Susan's like, hey, we'll find out a way. We'll look for those elsewhere. Did I get something wrong? That entire scene was a metaphor, or like an allegory, to me not being accepted into art school. Hey, you have to make the best of it, and that's what I did. And I don't know what might come of this pilot, if it'll turn into a bigger show later down the line. I mean, if we were gonna make season 1 eventually, Netflix, Amazon Prime, just shoot me an email. Can always talk about things. As for the script, this is so total. I basically started writing it, I think it was sometime 2021. I started writing that. I basically made a few rough drafts in my notes app on my phone, and eventually just stick with it. Go away, Moon. Go home. Don't make the same mistake that I did. Getting yourself a caffeine addiction to finish a animation pilot. Moon, where are you, baby boy? Oh, there we go. Essentially, I worked on the animatic, but like, I've had a lot of time to think about the script while doing that, and that ended up becoming a rewrite again. And you should revise your script a lot of times. My opinion. Where is he? There you are. And essentially I did all the animation without any lip syncing or anything. It was mostly just the characters without the mouths. And right before recording all the lines, me and my script editor went through it, and she's a native English speaker, so she told me what sounded weird and what didn't. Where is he? Ah, there you are. Pretty close. Yeah, she explained to me that some stuff sounded weird. We went through it again, one more time. Oh, that like a few things were devoid of logic for like a first-time viewer, which they still are, but like sometimes you have to pick and choose. So that's how we ended up with the story as it is right now. And I generally just wanted to do an Indiana Jones-like plot that leaves room for more environments and the treasure hunting aspect that all formed over time. Because I have to say, the idea for a first season came before the idea... Did it crash? Oh. Well, I think that's my sign to stop. Actually wrote the first draft a pretty long time ago, even though it was after I came up with the general idea for a first season. That was just me lying in bed and thinking about, Reality Falls is great. What would I do if I could make an indie series? And I don't know what makes me special. I mean, I made a pilot all by myself. What makes you special, Moon? And I wanted to write a self-contained adventure. Oh. What have I done? Oh! So essentially, I wanted to make a self-contained adventure to just showcase the entire show as a whole. And a few plot points were pretty clear to me from the start, but I changed the script a lot, and honestly, throughout the entire production I made a lot of mistakes. What was that? I made a lot of mistakes. Yeah, throughout the entire production. Please, you get closer. And there are a lot of things. If I had to write this pilot again, I would do quite a few things differently. And essentially, when I made the animatic, I completely overhauled the script. For example, they weren't supposed to meet at a pool. They were originally meeting up at Henry's bar place. Moon, where are you, Moon? There you are. Well, for example, they weren't searching for an explosive crystal in the first draft, but rather a real flower. But I just wanted to showcase the entire universe of this series. And of course, Vanessa, I wanted her to be the main villain of the first episode. There are a lot of villains in this series, the way I planned it now, but I think about it. Is this on? That's your daily dose of vitamin D, Moon. I rewrote it a couple times. For example, when just before we did the recording with all the voice actors, me and Barbie, my script editor, went through the entire thing again, and she called out everything that sounded nonsensical or weird or not like something a native English speaker like her would say. And that's why I'm all for not setting your stuff into stone once you write it, but like revising it over and over again so that you wound up with a story that you feel like was worth telling afterwards. Of course, mine was very self-contained because it should showcase this entire series without a follow-up. Did I make it? Woohoo! Without depending on a follow-up, but I already explained that in a different video actually. Mods. So that's how this entire the entire story came to be essentially. Boom, boom, Bobby, you go right here. And of course, as everything came together, I thought about, hey, why not make an Indiegogo? Maybe I could bring more people into the team. Hey, baby boy. As the pilot was slowly coming together, I decided, hey, why not do an Indiegogo campaign? Mainly I can hire more artists. In the end, I had to fund everything myself because I've never done this, I don't know how to advertise this, I just gave it a try and wanted to see where it would bring me. Shush. And I still owe people that art book. Oh no, there's still more. You. Go back there. There you go. Now open wide. Oh god, this thing is dying. What a slight of cost that. Oh jeez. I have to bring up the big boy. Yeah, I still owe you guys that art boat. It will be there when I'm done with all the commissions and got a little bit of breathing room. I don't know if I've explained it yet. Again, this is the second time I'm recording this, but as of now, I'm just trying to learn how to animate in different programs and be more resourceful when animating and more economic. Hold on. You go back there. Be more economic with my animation style because making everything hand-drawn, left for, again, as many people said, a lot of animation that was more on the stiff side, which is not a problem in my opinion. I made it more about Soviet environments, as I probably said before. I'm slowly going insane at this pizza place. Gag order. Black licorice. Delicious, non-litigious. I don't know how to pronounce that. Verdammt. Ich weiß nicht, wie ich das ausspreche. What else was there to talk about? I think I went through most of my points. But again, I'm really lucky with all the people that wound up helping me, supporting me. A lot of people are calling it underrated. To which I'm like, yeah, but it is what it is, and I didn't make it with the intent of being very pleasing towards the YouTube algorithm, because it is a slow burn. Come on. It is a bit more of a slow burn, I have to admit that, and a lot of pacing issues resulted of me trying to shove so much plot into one episode. Well, I shove a lot of plot into one episode, and therefore went for a few scenes that were a bit more on the slower side to rake all of that up. Oh, damn! That was close! Yay! And again, I really hope you enjoyed it. I really hope you're looking forward to whatever my next project will be. Right now, I had a few ideas actually. I'm just gonna end this real quick right here. I had a few ideas actually. I thought about an Oswald and Mickey show now that that thing was public domain, and don't you dare look at me like that. I also thought about a more light-hearted, Family Guy-esque comedy. Well, Family Guy is the wrong word, more like a what if more positive characters like the universe characters were like in an adult comedy. Right now I'm really interested in doing like a more of a, that's why I'm here, more of a psychological mascot sort of indie horror project. Not a game, of course, because I don't know how to code. Like some really weird, interesting, unhinged sort of Inside Out-esque psychological horror adventure. That would be pretty interesting to do. I'll chips ad. I really hope you enjoyed this weird mess. And also thank you for the kind comments. Thank you. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys